Thanks for selecting school calendar. The AHCCS school calendar is a little bit different than other schools, so I'd like to go over it quickly here. To find the school calendar when we're done with this lesson, you can go to your AHCCS Moodle homepage, scroll down, and find these buttons for pod dates and school calendar. All of the information is broken down in both of those sections if you need a little bit more information about the school calendar. But here's how it works. The school calendar is broken into pods, and you may ask, what is a pod? It's a way to get organized as you work. Our school year is broken down into 4 quarters, like a traditional high school, but each quarter is broken into 3 pods, just like I'm showing with my little pea pods here at the bottom. And each pod is broken into 3 weeks. So what that means is you'll see all of your work 3 weeks at a time, and you can work ahead if you want. You can work on all 3 weeks within a pod at one time. Each assignment will have a suggested due date as well. So as you're working within those 3 weeks, or a pod, each assignment will have a suggested due date. That's the due date that the teacher would like to see you get that work done. But remember, you have all 3 weeks of the pod to get your work done. What you need to remember is that all assignments are due by the end of the pod. At the end of the pod, the teacher will close the pod to start the new pod. So you can't go back and do your work if you missed it during the first 3 weeks. So keep that in mind. And just a reminder, each quarter has 3 pods, and each pod has 3 weeks. It's a way for us to let you look at your assignments in small chunks. And remember, if you need to look at any of this information for the pod dates in the school calendar, you can find them on the buttons on your Moodle homepage. So you might be thinking, this is a little bit confusing. What's a pod again? How many weeks is a pod? Remember, a pod is 3 weeks. Let's take a closer look. I'm going to open up a global literature course. And in this course, it's broken down into 3 weeks. So let's take a peek. As we scroll down, there's a button for jumping to the current pod, so it can bring us right to the work that we need to do. But let's just take a peek. We've got some announcements here from this teacher. And we also have our link for live class. Live class is every Monday and Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and that's that virtual class link to get to live class. Now let's take a look at the pod. Week 1 of the pod, all of the assignments will be under the blue headings for week 1 and each lesson that you need to work on. As you scroll down, we're now looking at week 2 in green of this pod and all the work that you need to work on. And finally, week 3 of the pod is in orange, all the work you need to do in week 3 and any test or pod assessments that you need to do. So this is how the class page will look. It'll be broken into 3 weeks for each pod.